Today I want to discuss who I think would be the top 6 actors who could play Voldemort in the upcoming HBO series for Harry Potter. Some of these actors are very well known, and they're really typical picks. If you look on any list, you're going to find some of these same actors. But a few of them are really dark horses that I haven't seen anybody talking about. And our number one is someone that I haven't seen a single person mention ever. So the books give this physical description to Voldemort, that he has pale skin, a chalky, white, skull-like face, snake-like slits for nostrils, red eyes, and a cat-like slits for pupils. He has a tall, skeletally thin body and long, thin hands with unnaturally long fingers. And when we were going through this, all that can kind of be made in prosthetics or other things, but other book criteria that we were going for Voldemort is he has to have this tall and gangly quality to him. He needs to be daunting, he needs to be emotionally volatile, and just kind of volatile in general. He needs to be cold as ice, soft-spoken, but he also needs to have charisma. He really needs to have charisma because Tom Riddle had a ton of charisma, and he hasn't really forsaken all of his charisma. But he has charisma in a way that Bellatrix's energy needs to be understood in that way as well. He needs to be elegant. He needs to have this high, cold voice, remorseless, merciless, very direct and purposeful. He needs to command a room, and he starves his followers in this emotional way. He also needs to be feared when just his hair enters the room, and he really has to want nothing at all to do with friendship. So that was the other criteria that we're coming up with, and there were a few actors we wanted to pick, but honestly, they were just, too short. I know that sounds ridiculous. It's like girls when they're looking for guys on dating profiles, but for Voldemort, you kind of need him to be really tall. He needs to be at least 6'2" and above, and all the actors that we picked are a little bit on the taller side. Now, some of the ones that we thought of, real quick before we go through this, we thought Mads Mikkelsen could play him really well. Ralph Fiennes, if he reprised his role, I actually would love that if Ralph reprised his role. I think Liam Neeson can do him really well. Jason Isaacs is another one that I think could do him. There's other ones like Joaquin Phoenix and Benedict Cumberbatch, which a lot of people are talking about. Daniel Day-Lewis, Andy Serkis. I mean, there's even two ones of like Jim Carrey I think would do him really well, to be completely honest. But it would be hard to isolate Jim Carrey from other things in your mind. And the same with Sacha Baron Cohen. I think he would actually do Voldemort really well. He's a really good actor, and I think he would do him exceptionally well. But we're going to go through 6 of our top ones, but before we even do that, I want to go through 4 honorable mentions. We thought of John Sims, but I think his face is just a little too round. He doesn't have that gangly quality that Voldemort needs to have. Andrew Scott was another one that we thought of, but if any of you have seen Fleabag, he's just too much of a hot priest. He has a great knack for acting. He's an incredible actor, but he's in so many other things that it would be tough to place him. Michael Fassbender was another one, and Michael Fassbender has this really intense eye quality to him, but I think he's almost a little too sexy. He's too much like Tom Riddle and not enough like Lord Voldemort. And then the last honorable mention that we have is Bill Nighy, who played Scrimgeour in the movies. And I think he could do it really, really well, but I think he's just a little too old. But I kind of think he should still play Scrimgeour if he reprises that role. I wouldn't mind it. But our number 6 for who should play Lord Voldemort is Matt Smith. Matt Smith has this mad look to him, and he played Doctor Who, so that might ruin the immersion for some people, but he was also in House of Dragons, so I don't think this is going to work out because he's probably tied down with House of Dragons for a while. And he's probably tied down for a few other things that he's doing. But he has this mad quality to him that he kind of just looks like he would be this maniacal, gangly, fear-stricken leader. And I think he would be good. Number 5 is a trinity of characters. It is the Skarsgård brothers. And honestly, I feel like they're just the spectrum from Tom Riddle to Lord Voldemort. But they're all just incredible actors, and I think they could all play them interchangeably really well. You can get a lot of flashbacks with the younger Skarsgård brother. You can get some of the older ones. They just have this menacing look to them that I think would work really, really well. Another person, our number 4 pick, is Lars Mikkelsen. And this is Mad Mikkelsen's brother. And I think Lars Mikkelsen would work because he has this gaunt face. It's kind of cool too because he's the brother of Grindelwald, but He's the oldest person in this list, and I think a younger Voldemort would be a little bit more intense than an older one. Even though in the books he's around 60 years old, I think for the series it's a little bit better to have someone who's younger and a little bit sprier than have someone who's older and could potentially run the risk of passing away before the series is over. Our number 3 pick was deadlocked with our second pick. Number 3 and number 2 are almost interchangeable for us. But number 3 is Mark Strong. Maybe has the better personality than our number 2 pick, but the only detractor for Mark Strong is something weird, but it's the facial structure. I just think Lord Voldemort, the Dark Lord, needs to be a little bit more gaunt than Mark Strong is. Mark Strong has maybe a little bit too round of a face. He doesn't look like, his cheekbones aren't like jutting out. He doesn't look snake-like enough. And I think Lord Voldemort really has to have this snake-like quality to him. So our number 2, I think, has more of that look, but it is Cillian Murphy. He really has this gaunt face structure, but I don't know, would he be able to portray just this insanity and maniacalness in what he does? I think he's a phenomenal actor, but I haven't seen him play anybody who has this like insanity to them. I think he does control really well. So Cillian Murphy does this thing where like if he shows emotion, it's really good because he rarely shows emotion sometimes when he acts. He's very, very even-keeled. So my question would be, can he just be volatile? Can he act in a crazy way in one scene and a more docile way in another scene? And I think that for sure he can do that, but he just has this look of the Dark Lord. And I think with some prosthetics, he would look really, really good as Lord Voldemort. But our number 1 pick is a surprise. I haven't heard anybody talk about this, but it is Ralph Fiennes' brother, Joseph Fiennes. And I think Joseph Fiennes just has this devilish look to him. Also, he's the brother of Ralph Fiennes, so I think he would play him really well, and I think there'd be a fun little connection there. But just the look alone really has sold it for me. He has this long quality to his face that when I was reading Harry Potter for the first time and I had Lord Voldemort's image in my head, Joseph Fiennes was kind of what I was thinking of. He has this long, snake-like, gangly quality to him. He's very tall. He's a perfect age for it, too. And he just has this intensity in his face that I think would really, really serve this role exceptionally well. So that is our number 1 pick. I'm really curious who you think should play Lord Voldemort in the upcoming HBO series for Harry Potter. There's a lot of different names getting thrown out there, but who do you think is the person who should play the Dark Lord himself, Lord Voldemort? Let me know what you think in the comments. Throw some likes down on this video as well, and have a great day.